Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to be here with you today. This is part 2 of my time management series on how to save 10 hours a week or more in your business. In this video, I'm sharing with you the key to time management that will help you be more efficient, more productive, and have more peace as you grow your business. If you haven't yet, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you get notified when there's a new video up. All right, let's dive in. If you saw the first video, you know that I am diving into my love of teaching in this series, and I've got a little PowerPoint for you. So I'm going to pop that up real quick, and then we'll use it to guide the conversation we get to have today. Okay, so let me go ahead and hit full screen so you can see the whole thing, and we will go in. All right. So what we think steals our time. So the two things that we generally think steal our time are tasks and people, right? Feeling like we have too many things to do and too many people who need our attention, right? Phone calls, emails, DMs, text messages. Somebody always needs something from you, right? And so when we feel like that, oh, so many things to do and so many people need my attention, right? We're like, oh, this is why I can't seem to get everything done. But the truth is, most of the time, this is not the case. It's not tasks and people that are actually stealing our time. The true culprits are these here, okay? These are the real culprits: procrastination, indecision, overwhelm, and exhaustion. I've actually found that there are about 7 major time thieves in my own personal experience and from working with clients, and these are 4 of the biggest ones. So when you are in any of these states, procrastination, in state of indecision, of overwhelm, or exhaustion, it sucks away hours of your life, days of your life, sometimes even weeks of your life, and can actually cost you sales and money. But when you learn the number 1 time management key that I'm going to share with you today, you will be able to minimize the amount of time that you spend in these 4 states, save yourself a ton of time, create a lot more peace, and shoot, close your laptop at 5 and go hang out with your man. Instead of feeling like you have to work all day and all night to get things done, okay? So what is it that actually causes you to be able to master your time? The true key to mastering your time is not actually about your time at all. The true key to mastering your time is mastering your energy, your physical energy and your mental energy. When you focus on managing your energy well, you will be able to manage your time much better. And actually, a lot of your time management challenges will actually solve and resolve themselves. So let's talk about how to manage your physical energy and your mental energy to be able to master your time. Okay, so physical energy. Physical energy is about these 4 things: diet, exercise, water, and sleep. These are the 4 foundational habits that help you maintain and master your physical energy. The goal here is to be at peak energy, which is what these 4 things will allow you to do. And peak energy allows you to be at peak efficiency, peak productivity, and peak creativity. And it's really that creativity that started your business, and it's creativity that's going to take your business to the next level, right? That's you having those fabulous multi-million-dollar ideas, right? That's really what creates that for you and creates space for that for you. Now, of course, diet, exercise, water, sleep, this is not new information. You've heard this stuff before, okay? It's not really about being revolutionary here. It's about being consistent. Like Jamal Miller says, mastery is consistent application of basic principles, okay? Consistent application of basic principles. So I know that you know these things, but are you doing them consistently in a way that's going to help you master and maintain peak physical energy for yourself? If you are, awesome, and high five to you. And if you're not, start today. No judgment, no shame. Start today. So let's talk about why we often don't. Okay, so some of the reasons why a lot of times we don't maintain consistent habits that are going to help us be at peak energy. First one is we're doing it out of obligation. We're doing it because we feel like we should. We know that we should go to the gym. We know that we should eat healthier, but we just don't want to. And so because we feel like we should, it's really more of an obligation thing. We're doing it out of guilt. And guess what? Guilt is actually a paralyzing emotion, not a motivating one. And because it's paralyzing and not energizing, when you feel guilty about something, you're actually less likely to take action rather than more. And if you do take action, you're more likely to take action that is harmful rather than helpful. So for example, if you're feeling guilty about not following your diet plan or your eating plan, whatever it is, you're actually more likely to either continue not doing it or actually go and eat something unhealthy, right? You're more likely to do that. You're more likely to starve yourself, right? So if you're feeling guilty because you weren't going to eat cookies, then yesterday you ate a cookie, you might not eat all day today, right? Or most of the day, you might skip breakfast and lunch and tell yourself you can only eat dinner, right? To make up for yesterday. Or you might feel like you have to overtrain, go to the gym for hours to work off whatever you ate. So when you feel guilty, you're more likely to either take no action or take harmful action versus taking helpful action and doing something just gentle and simple, like not eating a cookie today, right? Simple. You ate one yesterday. Okay, forgive yourself. Don't eat one today. Simple, right? So that's what guilt really creates. So when we're doing this out of guilt, or when our motivation or our reason for wanting to work out, to take care of our bodies is really about guilt, we are more likely to not actually do it. The second reason is that we tend to neglect ourselves until we're in a state of crisis. So if you don't actually physically feel bad or bad enough that it feels like a crisis state to you, especially if you are, right, a high achieving woman, which I know that you are, if you're in my space and you follow me, as a high achieving woman, it's really easy to just push ourselves and push ourselves and push ourselves until we get things done, not really focusing on being in a peak energy state when we do it. So we're like, oh, I'm just going to grind and I'm going to get it done. And then after I'm done, that's when I'll go take care of myself until we get into a state of crisis, right? So there's some kind of disease or illness in the body, an injury, right? When we have to, right? So when life or the circumstance forces us to take care of ourselves, that's when we do it. But otherwise, we focus on the task and we kind of put ourselves on our well-being on the back burner because we're so focused on achieving and getting things done, right? So really, it comes from this place of like not loving ourselves as much as we really could. And the third reason is that our reason is more aesthetic than energetic. So when the beauty industry tells us, you know, we have to look a certain way, and so we feel like we got to go to the gym or we got to eat a certain way because we're trying to change our bodies or fix our bodies because we don't like the way that they look, then it's really, again, about guilt and shame, right? It's about not feeling good about yourself. And as a result of not feeling good about yourself, you're feeling like, oh, I got to go to the gym so I can lose weight and fit into these jeans, or I got to go to the gym, or I got to eat this way because I want to look better for whatever reason, right? And so we're doing it again out of guilt and shame. And because guilt is a paralyzing emotion, it's going to make you more likely to not do the thing that is in alignment with what you say you want. And lastly, we tell ourselves we just don't have enough time. Right? We don't have enough time. We're like, oh, I don't have time for this, right? I don't have time to eat. I got to work. I don't have time. I can't go to sleep yet. I got to work, right? I don't have time to go to the gym. I got to work. I'll do it later. I'll do it when I get around to it. I'll do it when I get all this stuff done, you know, but then we don't get this stuff done. Or by the time we do get the stuff done, there's no time, right? To go to the gym, et cetera. And so we tell ourselves that we don't have time, but the problem is skipping out on these 4 habits actually costs you time. And it costs you time because when you are tired, right? And you're tired from either not getting enough sleep, not exercising, being dehydrated, not having eaten in so long that like your blood sugar is so low that you're like, you're about to crash, right? Okay. When you're tired, you actually process and function slower. You're going to think slower. You're going to move slower, right? Everything is going to be slower and harder for you when you're in that state of exhaustion. You're not going to be as mentally sharp. You're not going to be on top of things, thinking quickly, moving quickly, having genius ideas, solving problems quickly, right? So it's going to make you less efficient, right? Less productive, less creative. It's going to make everything take longer. So it actually costs you time rather than saving you time. Also, sleep. studies show that being tired has the same effect on your brain as being drunk. So you wouldn't go to work drunk. So going to work tired is actually going to have the same effect on you. So it is so, so, so important to be getting enough sleep. So go to bed so that when you get up, you can be at peak energy and get things done like the boss that you are. Okay. So one way to help yourself get into these habits without getting overwhelmed, stressed out, and getting into guilt or shame about it is focusing on consistency over intensity, okay? Consistency over intensity. Always remember this. So one of the things, and I'll use the gym as an example, one of the things that causes us, like I mentioned in the last slide, to avoid going to the gym or to not get around to going to the gym is that we feel like we have to do something really hard. We feel like we have to work out for a long time, right? So, oh, well, I don't have 2 hours to go to the gym, so I can't go today. I'll have to go another day, right? When I have time. And so then we're like, well, I'm going to go to CrossFit, but I'm going to go to CrossFit once a week because I don't have time the rest of the week, or I'm going to go once a month, right? But you would get a lot more mileage out of walking 15 minutes a day than going to CrossFit once a month or even once a week, because since you're doing it so infrequently, you're not getting the maximum benefit from it, right? So focusing on intensity, trying to work really hard for a long period of time in one solid block versus consistently doing it in short periods over a long period of time, you're going to see a much different result. And this is really the case also in your business. There are so many tasks in your business that a lot of times what I see is women will say, I've just got to blaze through this and I got to get it done. And so they'll work and work and work and work and work for hours and hours and hours until they're tired and they're passing out on the couch with their laptop open and, and their clothes still on and it's 8 p.m. and they're like, oh, they're just crashing, right? Because they've been working so hard all day. But here's the thing. You don't have to do all that, right? Like there might be occasions where like you have a deadline and something's coming up and you just got to do what you got to do. But on a consistent basis, on a regular basis, you don't have to function this way. If you took that massive pile of emails and set aside a specific amount of time every single day to get them done, guess what? Within a couple of days or a couple of weeks, you'd be able to respond to all of them, right? If it's projects that you have to work on, for example, a client of mine had a number of projects that she had to work on for her clients, and she was just feeling behind. And so she was just blazing and she was working so hard and she was working so many hours to get them all done. And she was just exhausting herself to the point where like she would just be like, I don't want to do anything for days because she'd get so tired from working so hard. And so we created a system and a routine and a rhythm for her where she could work on it consistently, but in smaller blocks, rather than having to blaze through it all in a day or a couple of days. And as a result, literally within a month or two, she said, Jessica, I am more caught up and on top of my work than I have been literally in years. Okay. And this is just within a month or two of creating consistency rather than focusing on intensity. So a great question to ask yourself is, where am I focused on intensity in my business? What tasks am I trying to just blaze through and kind of do all at once in a big chunk that I could actually just work on consistently in smaller blocks over time, whether it's every day or every week, and get it done with more peace, right? Because guess what? You don't want to build your business in a way that feels bad, because when you build your business in a way that feels bad, at some point your inner self-destruct button is going to go, I don't like this. And you're either going to crash or you're going to blow it up. Okay. I've literally seen people running 7-figure businesses that said, this doesn't feel good, I'm burning it down. Okay. You don't want to get to that point. So this is how you do it. You create in a way that feels good. You execute in a way that feels good. And consistency instead of intensity is one of the ways that you can do that. Okay, so we talked about physical energy. Now let's talk about mental energy. So I've got 3 ways to help master your mental energy. The first 2 are really part of one single concept, which is having a daily mindset practice. Okay, so your daily mindset practice should involve 2 things. The first one is identifying fears and doubts. This is asking yourself, what are the fears and doubts that are causing me to procrastinate? What are the fears and doubts that are causing me to be stuck in indecision, to feel overwhelmed, to feel exhausted? Some of the really common thoughts and beliefs that tend to make us procrastinate, that tend to kind of suck our time and our energy away, are things like, I have to do it all myself. I have to get it all done today, or I have to get it all done by tomorrow at 5. And if I don't get it all done by tomorrow at 5, it means I'm a failure. When we get into that type of thinking, it makes us procrastinate because we're trying to do something that is outside of our zone of genius. So it's heavy and it's hard and we don't want to do it, but because we feel like we have to do it ourselves, instead of delegating it or getting help from someone, we put it off. We put it off. And literally putting it off is costing you money. I'm going to tell you right now. And I'm telling you this because I'm speaking from experience. Putting it off is costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've seen this with so many clients. So telling yourself, oh, I have to do it all. I have to do it all myself, and I have to do it all by tomorrow at 5, literally is causing you to procrastinate, get overwhelmed and exhausted, and it's costing you money. So what can you do about that? What can you do about that to reclaim your time and call in the cash, okay? Step 2, which is making new decisions. So beliefs are just things that you've decided are true for you, okay? So I have to do it all. I have to do it all right now, and I have to get it all done by tomorrow at 5. Those are all beliefs, right? They're just thoughts that you're choosing to believe are true. But if you chose to believe those thoughts were true, you can choose something different at any time. So you can choose to believe, I am worthy of support. I have nothing to prove. I don't have to do this all myself. I'm worthy of support, and it's worth the investment to get that support, right? Whether the investment is time, whether the investment is money, whether it's both, right? Whatever the investment is, maybe it's just the investment of courage to ask somebody for help. But believing, deciding that you're worthy of support and it's worth the investment to get that support is a decision that is going to help you stay in your zone of genius, stay in alignment with your goals, and save yourself a ton of mental energy. Okay, so that's one. Also, instead of I have to do it all right now, right? I don't have to do this all right now. I can give myself a deadline to accomplish this, a goal date to accomplish this by, that's not hyper aggressive. It doesn't have to be a hyper aggressive timeline. I can give myself a really healthy goal date to finish this by that gives me enough space to get it done excellently, because getting it done with excellence is just as important as getting it done efficiently, right? Getting it done speedily. And that allows me to also get everything else done and still have time for rest, still have space, still have peace, right? So just choosing to believe something that's more supportive for you and also more accurate is going to save you a ton of mental energy. Huge amount of mental energy, okay? And lastly, honoring your emotional guidance system. Your emotional guidance system is literally that. It's your emotions, and that is the purpose of them. A lot of us grew up, if you're like me, you might have grown up without really, and not ever have been taught really how to understand, navigate, or manage your emotions, or really what the purpose of them is. So some of us grew up really treating our emotions like they're a noisy child in the backseat of the car, and you're saying like, be quiet, shh, I'm trying to drive, I'll deal with you later, right? So sometimes we treat our emotions like that, like they're kind of in the way, or they're obstacles, or they're even our enemies, and we have to overcome our emotions or get over our emotions or put them to the side so we can focus on working, etc. And so we don't really use our emotions for the purpose that they were given to us for. But the purpose of your emotions is to give you information. They're not like the noisy child in the backseat of the car. They're like the lights on the dash, the indicator lights on the dashboard, right? They're like the gas gauge and the odometer and the temperature gauge and the check engine light that give you information about what's going on in the car that needs your attention or doesn't. And so that's the purpose of your emotions, is they let you know, hey, something's going on over here that you should be aware of. And when you use that information correctly, it can help you make aligned decisions that will help you skyrocket your business. One example of that for me is I used to bang my head against the wall trying to write long form posts on Facebook and Instagram. The problem is I am not a writer. That's not my primary skill. Like, I plan to be a best-selling author one day. Well, guess what? I might have somebody ghostwrite my book. Okay. All right. Writing is not my primary skill. I am a speaker. I literally have a shelf full of public speaking trophies about 20 feet away from me right now. Okay. I'm a speaker. Speaking is my primary skill. So I realized, oh, I don't need to keep trying so hard to write. If writing is not my gift, if speaking is my gift, then let me just start talking. So I started making more videos. And you guys, one single video I've made so far off of one single video about $50,000. One video, okay? And that's just that one, not even the other ones that I've made. And so that is actually one of the reasons why I've been focusing more on my YouTube channel, and you'll be seeing a lot more videos coming from me in the foreseeable future. But when you lean into your emotional guidance system, when I stopped frustrating myself trying to write when I'm not a writer and said, let me lean into what lights me up. Let me lean into what feels good, right? I loved winning those trophies. I love public speaking. It is so much fun. It terrifies some people. And I'm like, no, give me the microphone. I'll be on stage all day. Okay. So when you use your emotional guidance system to your advantage, when you use it for what it was given to you for, it can help you make aligned decisions that not only feel good, but also make you money, okay? They make you tons of money. They will grow your business so much faster than slogging through, frustrating yourself, exhausting yourself, and beating your head against the wall, trying to do things that are not aligned with you and just don't feel good, okay? So those are the 3 ways to master your emotional energy. And of course, if you liked this video, I have an invitation for you, which is to join me for Workshop Wednesdays. These are free trainings that I'm doing every Wednesday on mindset, time management, faith, and money for women entrepreneurs that are called to make millions and impact millions. They'll be happening Wednesdays from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern time, starting August 9th, which is next week, Wednesday. And if that is you, if you are a woman entrepreneur who is called to make millions and impact millions, and you are ready to take your business to the next level, these free trainings are for you. There is a link in the description. Go ahead and click that link to sign up, and I'll send you the link to join me next week. It's going to be a fantastic time. I'm really excited about this series, and it's going to be just wonderful. It's going to be wonderful. So thanks so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and unshare here so you can see my face. Thanks so much for watching. It's been fabulous being with you. I will see you in the next video.